How's it going, everybody? This is Tim, and it's Duncan, and we are the hosts of Buns Thighs Fitness Podcast. It is a PT&C personal trainer and company entertainment solution. So I'm a personal trainer. I own PT&C Gym, and this is my client, Duncan. Let me fix this frame real quick. That's not good. There we go. And we're going to do a little bit of a loose podcast today, where it's not very structured. We kind of just hanging out, talking about fitness tips, what we got going on in our lives, and what kind of deals we got going on in the gym. Right now, it's the fitness buzz for New Year's resolutions, and we have some serious discounts right now. The first 3 people that respond on that shows interest in what I'm about to say, that are trying to get personal training, whether it's online or in person, they're going to get 2 weeks of personal training free, just for January. So they have to do it by January 15th. Otherwise, then they'll only get 1 week of personal training for free. And once January 30th goes by, then no free personal training. After that, we have I've decided to put my first of the series of the PDF workouts is going to be free, and it's going to stay free. I want everyone to try out that PDF. I've had amazing feedback from it. A lot of people have tried it out, and every single one of them has loved it, and it's created transformations. I know it just seems like PDF, but if you like to read a fitness program and it's easy to read, you can follow along. Gives you fitness tips. It structures your calendar month. It's definitely for you. The first one's free. The rest of them are $25. And we have a bundle putting all 3 of the different types of the first part of the first part of each series is bundled together for $59.99. So that's 3 different types of workouts for $59.99. 3 different months. So that should be. Oh yeah, and 2-week free trial on the fitness app, the PT&C fitness app. We're doing a 2-week free trial. I'm going to keep that year round. So if you want to try out the app and you don't want to pay $35 a month because you haven't tried it yet, then you definitely should try it for free, and you can cancel at any time. So, Duncan, what's up with you? What you been up to?
In fitness.
In general, what you been up to lately?
Oof. Right now, again, I'm working as a high school teacher, so we just came back from break and immediately got hit with a 2-hour delay today because of the weather. For those of you who are watching who are outside of Colorado or just sometime in the future and you don't know what day this is that we're recording this, Colorado is cold. A little absurd with the weather. But here's the funny thing that I found is like last week, there was a day where if you looked out the window, it looked sunny, but then you went outside and it was frigid. Whereas today there's snow on the ground, but honestly, I wasn't all that cold. Like I was walking around in a tank, which probably wasn't advisable, but still. Earlier this morning, actually, I looked at the forecast for next week, and there's at least one day where it's projected to get below 0 Fahrenheit. And yeah, bring that one on.
What?
Yeah, I think it's not this Saturday or tomorrow, but next Saturday it's projected the low of negative
no. 1. Ugh. All right.
So make sure to put like faucets and stuff on a drip.
-1.
You know, that's when pipes burst.
Okay. Thanks for the heads up. I didn't know that. I also live in Colorado. Oh, man. Okay. Well, cool. Anything else exciting?
I saw a movie that I really enjoyed.
The riveting podcast of Buns and Thighs. So, I've been reading
talk about movies. Movies are good.
The last time you recommended me a movie, I hated it.
I did not recommend that movie to you. I posted about it on social media how I loved it, but it was not a direct recommendation. You cannot say
that. So, yeah, nobody watch. If you're into movies and you like watching them, nobody watch The Boy and the Heron. It's the most boring,
disagree.
convoluted, plot holy, weird and I'm an anime fan. I love anime. I also love like deep, philosophical things. This was just poorly written. And it's not his fault. It's his last hurrah, and he honestly didn't give a crap. So,
That's your speculation. I wholeheartedly disagree. I thought The Boy and the Heron was easily one of the best things I've seen all year. And Tim and I have gone back and forth with this, and I say, it's different strokes for different folks. And he says, no, it's a piece of trash and shouldn't exist. And I say, well, that's your opinion.
I'm just mad that I spent my movie points on it. My movie ticket points. But anyways.
I've seen it 3 times. So I've spent like 6 hours and $30 on it. I loved it. I thought it was great.
Well, to each their own.
Exactly. So, okay. Anyway.
So, to move on from the movie theater conversation, I'm reading a book by Eric Mozo. I think that's his name. It's Himazano. And anyways, it's 100 Million Leads. And it's pretty good. I've never read a book for advertising or for sales or for anything really towards that, because I tend to think of myself as pretty good when it comes to the face-to-face sales. I don't think that I can read anything, and this is not me being pompous. Like, I've tried to read some books. Like, you've given me a couple sales books, and I've tried to and I can't get past like the 8th page. I'm just like, I am not the target audience. They're saying you need to be confident, you need to do this and this. I'm like, I already do all that. So but this one that I found, it's 100 Million Leads. Let me look up who it is, by the way, so I don't.
Alex Hormozy.
Alex Hormozy. There you go. Oops. I just killed.
I think I'm pronouncing it right. It's Hormozi. Alex Hormozy? Is that how you say it?
Hormozy. It might be Italian, might be Japanese, who knows. But
Hormasi.
So, he is giving me a lot of good insights, and so people are going to start seeing much more professional Facebook posts, Facebook ads, things like that. And there's just tactics in there that I wouldn't have thought of. And I will tell you right now, I'm good at in-person sales. I am doo-doo on a stick when it comes to internet advertising. I don't know how to internet advertise worth a dang. Let me tell you what, viewer. If you are listening to this right now, good on you, because you found this at the bottom of the mud pile, and it was not at the top. It was not anywhere near, flashing out saying, "Read me, listen to me." Yeah, you found this, and I'm proud of you. That's how bad at advertising I am. So I don't know why, but I have a watery eye right now. Maybe I'm crying. So how proud I am of my viewers. I'm not very good at it, but I am excited because this book is amazing. It really is. Like, it's breaking it down into like something called lead magnets. And a lead magnet is like a free offer. It's a mini service that you get for free that you would normally charge for. So don't think of something that you can do for free that you wouldn't miss. Think of a service that you would normally charge for and give it away for free. And it's not something that'll break your bank. It's not going to be your core offer. It's one of the satellite offers. So for me, that is the free PDF. That is the 2 weeks free. And there's different ways you can give it away. And the different ways is you can do a service, a sample, a trial, or just a straight up free gift. And or you can do all 4. And it's that's kind of the home run. So I'm trying to do all 4. I'm doing the 2 weeks free personal training in January. I'm doing the free PDF, which is just the home run all the way giveaway, totally free. But it's actually it's part of the part series. So the free trial, that is a time period where you get the same thing, but it's extended if you want to keep going, paid for. That's the try it before you buy it. And then there is the part series where you give the first step away for free, and then the rest of the parts are paid for. But the first part can't be just explanatory on why you should buy the product. It's actually part of the product and it helps the person. You know what I'm saying? So, this is the podcast, Duncan. You can't nod.
Oh, I forgot. Some the people who aren't watching this video feed, they just think that Duncan's gone silent. So yes, I agree. I understand.
So the lead magnets are really interesting because it gave me like a template to experiment with, and I love doing that. And so I'm gonna be giving away small portions of my business for free, and it's gonna be either on a trial, a part, or just giving a whole thing away for free that they outgrow. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's part of it. And now, so that is called a lead magnet. Now I have gone past that. I'm taking notes on the whiteboard. I have a giant whiteboard in my gym, and I leave part of it so that I can scribble my mad scribblings when I'm explaining things to my clients, and then the other part of it is my notes on my business plan. And so I'm in the next chapter, and it has to do with how to make ads. And he said the best way to make ads, don't just put a good title that you think is a good title. Don't just put a good subheader. Don't just put a good image that you think is a good image, and then put a good paragraph. You need to test these things. And so all these things that can be tested is free media outlets like YouTube, TikTok, even creating a poll and looking at the ratings. And so put out 2 different titles. See which one gets more engagement by percentage. So if this one gets 78% more engagement and this one got 33, you throw that one out and keep the good one. And then you test it against another one and then see which one got. And then you do that 10 times until you filter down to the best title. And then you do that. You do the same process with the images and the heading, and then you do different combinations of the best ones, and then you find out which is the ultimate one. It's been tested by people. You've done your own marketing group, focus group, and then you put that on a Facebook or Google ad and see how it does. And then you test that for a month and see how it goes. And if it doesn't do well, then you didn't do something right during your testing. And so I'm still in the learning how to create all that phase, and I'm going to start testing soon on like my YouTube videos and things like that, because I get data and stats back from all that, and it's pretty immediate. Like it can go into the 1600s. So we're going to see how that goes, but I'm having fun doing it. And so this is a new avenue of sales that I've never experienced before, and so it's pretty cool. What's your thoughts?
Mm-hmm. The idea of, I got a lot of thoughts on that. Firstly, the idea of finding something to, actually, I'll even back up beyond that. When it comes to owning a gym or becoming a personal trainer, there are so many people who are either in a very similar industry or are trying to break into that industry. Plus, there's a lot of misinformation. You and I talk about that a lot, floating around on social media. And you see this all the time. I see this even in like my ads on YouTube, where there will be a video that starts playing, and it's one of those you can't skip. And it'll be some fitness guy saying, if you want to lose fat, do this. And then the video pauses, and then someone else pops one from front and says, if you've seen this ad, then you don't listen to it. It's like, who even knows where to begin when there's so much information there?
Yeah.
And one of the things that is, in my mind, really important if you're constructing a business is to find ways of setting yourself apart. It's like, okay, if I'm going to enter into the gym owner / personal trainer market, well, shit, there's a lot of people doing that. But if there's something else that you say, well, actually, I don't just offer the personal training in the gym. I offer something that's unique, something that's special. That is, I feel like that is much more important. And how do you do that? Like that's you're saying.
Let me add on to that.
Away.
That's also in there. Being like, you don't want to be this. You want to differentiate yourself. You don't want to be a gym and it's the same as the other gym, and then you're just competing in who's on the lowest price because the only way to go is down. for both of them. No one wins.
Yep.
And everyone's just in a price war and trying to outdo all that. Or they're overpricing just for the sake of overpricing and making them sound like Hollister. You know what I mean? So it's the same material, but it's just the price makes it fancier. I have Hollister and I can afford it. So, yeah, finding something that really stands out, that makes you a separate experience, it makes you more than that was the text. Makes you more than whatever you're trying to build. More than a gym, more than a gas station, more than a plant shop, whatever. Anyways, continue. Sorry. I had to butt in for that.
No, you're fine. And funny enough, you reminded me of something else with that. So I went up to Castle Rock, I don't know, this couple months ago, and my fiance and I, we were shopping in the outlets at Castle Rock, and we went into this one store called Karl Lager. I don't know.
Karl
I'll figure
Lager?
it out later. Maybe?
Karl Lager.
Karl with a K. Yeah.
Karl Lager.
Trust you on that. I had never heard of that. I'm not really up to date with all of the like super fancy name brand recognition type things, but I remember walking in there and
or it's Caravaggio. There's two of them. Or it's Caravaggio. There's two of them.
I think I'm leaning towards the first one.
Karl Lager.
So we go into this Karl place, Karl L, and I'm looking at some of the items, and it's like, this is a sweater, and this sweater costs $300. I think, what the hell material is it made out of, and what are the conditions in which it was made that would justify a $300 price?
It's sewn together by live baby sheep that are microscopic, but they're all holding hands, and it keeps the entire thing alive but warm. And every now and then at night you hear a small meh.
You might as well, but that's just the thing is because how about this? If I were to ask someone, and this is just me speculating, if I were to ask someone in the store who is willing to pay $300 for this sweater, why are you buying this sweater? What is the manufacturing practice? What are the materials? How is it made? What is it that is compelling you to purchase this item? No one would be, I'm again speculating, but I would assume most people would not be able to tell me, oh, it's been harvested from this, or it's this animal, or whatever. The reason people buy it isn't because of anything logical or rational. They buy it because of the name brand, or the brand name. Same thing with, and again, someone out there on the internet might prove me wrong and say, well, Gucci actually does this, or Versace really does this. But as I see it, someone doesn't buy a Gucci because, it's been ethically sourced. They buy it because it's a freaking Gucci. And I feel like that's somewhat of what you want to get to. It's not that I go to this gym because I've compared it with all of the other stats and it's a good bargain. It's I go to this gym because what I get from this gym is unique to this gym or unique to this trainer. It's that you're not even in the same... It's not that you're not in the same league because that says that, oh, you're above the others. It means I'm not even playing the same sport as everybody else. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What would you say is the reason why my gym and my personal training style and myself differentiates from others?
Your eyebrows. What? Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now. If you're listening on podcast without the video, you're really missing out.
You really are. Tim's got good eyebrows. Mine. I used to have eyebrows. It's weird. They've like faded off of my face over the aging process. But what would set you apart? One, I would say availability. Like I don't know if you knew this. I had a personal trainer in the past. We're talking a long time ago. I was like a sophomore in high school, and it was like mom and dad last ditch effort. Like Duncan's gotta, shrink, otherwise doors aren't options anymore. So it wasn't that heavy, but still. And one of the things that I think about that sets you apart as a trainer is again that availability, and I don't just mean availability for session times, although you are flexible in those regards. But I mean that I can reach out to you and ask questions. And sometimes, like obviously you sleep and you eat and you have other clients and stuff. So it's not like I text you and I get an answer right away. But you are pretty good about following up in an extremely timely fashion. And one of the kind of preconditions for me in even getting a trainer was well, back in those days, I didn't know anything. I I had very vague understandings or maybe even misunderstandings of what constituted like healthy lifestyle or fitness or strength building exercise, stuff like that. And so I told you, have you ever seen the show Animaniacs,
Yeah.
the cartoon from the 90s?
Yeah, the
There
little
was a
like weird
segment in that.
animal, like they look like skunks or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, what even are they?
I
I
don't
think they're
know.
dogs.
Maybe the
But
dogs. Yeah.
anyway, there was a segment in that. I think it was Buttons and Mindy, and the entire time, this little girl, she like gets lost every single little segment, every episode, and she goes up to these adults and just asks, "Why?" Well, because of this. Why? Well, because of this. Why? And that's just kind of the shtick of the episode. That's kind of how I felt with you when I first started, where okay, we're going to do this. You would tell me,
That's
we're
funny.
going to do this. Why? Well, because of this, and this part of the body. Why? Well, because of the fascia and how everything works together. Why? Because it starts at your feet. And you were just wonderful in answering all of my questions, and I knew I had plenty of them. So, how about that? Those are some things that set you apart, that make you a unique entity among trainers and gyms.
All right, well, it's good to hear. So, what? All right, that was a fishing question. Now I'm gonna do a deprecating. What else? A question.
Deprecating.
What could I do better to differentiate myself in a positive way with the gym and the whole ownership and all that, and getting more people to, come to the gym and be like, hey, this is more than a gym. Because that's what I'm looking for, more than a gym. That's why I have this podcast. That's why I have the blog and / news articles. That's why I have the website. That's why I'm going to be creating an outdoors sports league. All that. What else?
It's a good question.
It's a very good question. We can come back to it if you want.
No. Just give me like 10 seconds to start the ball rolling, and in the meantime, keep stroking your beard.
Yes.
How about that? How about this? I don't necessarily have an answer. I'm just going to talk, and hopefully something comes out of it. Well, one...
That's what everybody wants to hear on a podcast.
Right? I mean, that's what a podcast is anyway, right? I'm just going to talk, and something good's going to come out.
Listen to the words that we pull out of our rumps.
Rump. Haven't heard that word in a while. But first things first, I'll give you an example. There was a day that I was at the gym, and it wasn't a session. I was just at the gym, and it was an evening. And I texted you a picture of the parking lot, and I said there must be a party happening next door because there's like a smoothie shop next door, but the parking lot was completely full. And I thought maybe they're having like a quinceañera or something like that, just kind of knowing the demographic that was kind of going in. I thought maybe that. And you showed up immediately and put a table outside and said, "Hey, if there's going to be traffic, like people traffic, then I'm going to go for it. I'm going to make myself available for people to ask questions." And I think that's actually a really good practice. How about this? I'm not saying that you don't do this already, but I do say that this is a priority, or should be a priority. It's the person-to-person touch, if you get that. Because I hear you saying earlier, I need to get better at the online marketing, and it is true. Maybe that is something that you could get better at. I don't know. But the one thing that I think is absolutely essential when it comes to marketing or business building is that interpersonal connection. Is it interpersonal or intra? I always get those mixed up.
Don't ask me. You're the English teacher.
Okay, I'll look it up later. I'm like trying to go back in my the suffix is, or the prefix is, that doesn't matter. Because when it comes down to it, I've heard it said that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And if you start just blasting people with, here's my gym, and you might as well be selling a watch. Here's what I got. Here are the bells and whistles. Does it look nice to you? It looks nice to me. But instead, when you, there was actually an exercise that you were doing with me the other day where we were just kind of going back and forth and doing a role play, as it were, of like a prospecting situation. And after a while of conversation where you were pretending to be the prospect and I was pretending to be the business builder, you said, okay, Duncan, we're going to stop. How have you helped me? And I went, I guess I haven't. I've just been asking digging questions. And you said, Duncan, what you got to do is you got to help people. So when we did a role reversal, you said, okay, you're the prospect, Duncan. I am the business owner, which is technically true. You said, okay, you asked a few questions and you said, okay, let's get up. Show me what you got. Do a squat. I want to see your form. That, I think, is invaluable because it's no longer just you're digging for information, because people know when they're being like evaluated, and sometimes it doesn't feel that good to feel like you're under scrutiny. And at the end of the day, when someone says,
well, me asking them to do a squat is definitely putting them under scrutiny.
It is, but not in the same way. It's active, but it's not interrogative. Like I don't feel like I'm being interrogated anymore. I feel like now we're in an actual session, which is technically true. So I guess in a roundabout way, your question was, what could I be doing better on the marketing front or on the business building front? More of that, please.
How much do you think? How much do you think I do that already? Huh? How much do you see that I do that already?
I haven't seen you. I've seen you a decent amount in action, like with other potential clients. Like we had a guy show up at the gym in the middle of my session, like a few weeks ago. You remember that guy? And it was something similar like that. Actually, you kind of told him wait 5 minutes because we were in the middle of a session, and then afterwards you worked with him, and I did the row and was able to watch a little bit. I think you do it a fair amount. You definitely do it in our sessions. This may come as a shock to you and anybody viewing, but I talk a lot. And as a result, sometimes I'm talking a lot because I'm working through something and I need to work it through verbally. Other times I'm definitely stalling with my verbiage. And again, it's not because I want to stall. It's probably because I'm nervous and I don't know how to do this exercise. So I'm just kind of talking. And at some point you're like, okay, no more talking, Duncan. Go over there and do it. You're nicer than that, but you know what I mean? The fact that you're getting me from this scrutinizing phase to just go and do it, and we can work out the kinks physically as you are engaged in this activity. That I think is invaluable, and you do that a lot in my sessions, and I appreciate that. Cool. And I see you doing that with prospects too.
We did miss the mark on the question, though. I was asking, what could I do that I'm not doing whatsoever? But we'll get back to it. So that is good to know, though. Like what you value as my client, and the interpersonal relationship, and making sure that it's not just robotic and like, this is what you need to do, this is what it costs, and this is what you need to do. So do it. Like it's more of a I'm taking a journey with you kind of thing. But I want to put a pin in the side stories real quick, and kind of want to talk about a fitness topic. How was your experience doing the 4x20 sets today? With I know we did 2 new exercises today, even technically 3 new. Most of the exercises was new, and since we don't usually do leg press, I would say all of the exercises are new relative to your CNS, your central nervous system. So how did that feel today? We did all new things today with a new rep range, which is 4x20 with 30-second rests. How is that compared to the 5x5 or the 4x8 that we normally do?
Firstly, I gotta say, doing new exercises like we did today just makes me feel all aglow, because I remember in the earlier days of my training.
For the people that don't understand what aglow means, I do, of course. But please explain it to the audience.
It means okay, fine. So I don't know, you feel a glow. It's like you have something inside that is radiating outwards. In this case, joy or
Oh, okay.
a
Yeah,
feeling
I knew that.
of self-satisfaction.
Yeah.
So maybe I could put it that way. I felt a lot of self-satisfaction, fulfillment today, because I remember in the early days of training with you when I would get so frustrated because I wasn't moving forward quickly enough. I wasn't adding as much weight, or we would spend days where we were working on mobility. And I had this kind of internal dialogue that said, it's because you're too weak, Duncan. And there's probably some truth to that. Like I needed to build strength. But what you have told me a few times recently is we're going to work on this new thing, or we're refining it because you're at that level finally. We can do more, I don't want to say experimental, but more, we're going to do different kinds of exercises that require a higher degree of acumen. And you have that acumen, and because of that, we are able to do these exercises. So whenever you present something new to me, I think, damn right, I'm gonna pat myself on the back because I'm at that level where we can do more challenging things. So I felt good about that.
It's basically like you're leveling up in a video game. It's like you knew they existed, you found the weapon, but the game said, hey, you're not a high enough level to use this weapon. And then you finally get to that level, and you're like, look at me, I'm a god. and you're trying out your new weapon.
Yep. It's like, did you ever play Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, like when you're first in the village, cookie, whatever, I don't remember the name of it. You have to use like your uncle's starter sword, but eventually you get to use the big sword that you pull out of like the I don't know, the stone. It's been a while.
The rocks, yeah.
It makes sense in my mind. So,
but yeah, no, continue. I just wanted to give an analogy.
Yeah, and in my mind, I go to Zelda. I think this can be a topic for a tangent for a different day, but I believe that The Legend of Zelda: The Ocarina of Time isn't just a video game; it's like a work of art. What a great story! But back to the topic at hand. It's always different when we do the 4x20, 4 sets, 20 reps each, with the shorter break, because it feels completely different. Like, I think I've told you before that whenever we're doing, for example, squats, and I have a certain amount of weight on each side, and you've asked me before, did you feel it in this area? Did you feel it in the glutes, in the gluteus medius? Did you feel it in the hips or wherever? And sometimes I tell you, you know what, Tim, I don't know. At that weight level, everything just feels tense and heavy. But when you lower the weight and you up the reps, suddenly I can feel exactly where I'm supposed to feel it, because it's no longer this like thing that's going to crush me. It's a manageable weight. But you do that, 20 times in a row, which we did with the legs, and before you know it, I feel like I don't know if I can bend my knees because I'm so sore. And then the 30-second breaks, I admit I milked those, and I know you know that. We'll get to it, and you're thinking, Duncan, you should have already been ready because your 30-second break's over. So I probably took about double time. But yeah, it feels more concentrated in certain muscle groups. Does that make sense?
Yeah, entirely.
Good.
Okay. So I just kind of want to give you an explanation because I didn't during the session. I was saving it for the podcast. I kind of want to give you an explanation for why we're switching right now. It's time. You've hit a wall in your strength building and your fat loss, and that's because your body has gotten used to the routine that you're in, which is the 5x5 heavy lifting strength building, regimen that we have going on. You're coming to the gym every day. Your body's starting to get used to it. And so we got to shake things up a little bit. And that's literally it. That's literally the whole thing. And it's like you're starting all over again. Because your body has never done this before. And you're going to remember the rapid weight loss that you got like in the beginning?
Yes.
If we stick to this, which we will, you're going to get that all over again. So it's because you're going to be building type 1 muscle fibers, which is the slow twitch muscle fibers. When we were doing the 5x5, 6x1, heavy powerlifting and heavy strength building, we were going after the type 2 muscle fibers. And they're still in the same muscle. So it's still in the same bicep, but there's a ratio. And right now, most of your lifting muscles that we use for lifting, they have a higher ratio towards type 2 muscle fiber because that's what your routine has called for. And so since you're lacking in the type 1 muscle fibers, that's why in the beginning it is a little challenging. But once you get used to it, it's almost more enjoyable than the strength one. This is called the bodybuilding modality. And then when you get used to this and you stop getting gains again and you switch back over to the strength modality, it's almost more enjoyable than when you were in the bodybuilding modality. It's like that newness, that shininess comes back, and you're just like, whoa, this is great. And that's the beauty of fitness and losing fat with muscle gain, is that there's always something else to do, something else to try. If you hit a wall, you can just turn left or turn right and pivot and start going that way. And if you hit a wall there, you turn and you start going that way. Did you notice that we did plyometrics in your workout today?
Remind me what that one is.
So,
Wait, did you say
plyometrics? Thank you for the follow. Stupid Tapping A likes bald people. Stupid Tapping A likes bald people. Sorry, I got a follower just now.
I'm a beacon.
And this is both bald people. So when I'm going to cut all the Twitch stuff out. And for the podcast, this is going to be on our podcast, Buns and Thighs, by the way. We're on Spotify, Apple Music, all that. And you're welcome to go follow us and listen to the other episodes. We don't keep it on Twitch. We just record it on Twitch. And so you'll get us live every now and then here. But the recordings is on all of the places that you listen to your favorite podcasts. So, okay, back to what I was saying. If you start to slow down, let me tell you exactly what's going to happen. We were trying to build condensed type 2 muscle fibers that does not look that big. Like, would you say that I am swole? You know, the term swole, yoked, where they're like bulging muscles and it's way too comfortable to be in that body. Kind of swole.
I would say no. You're very strong, and that's very evident, but swole, I don't know if you've ever seen the episode of SpongeBob where he gets like inflatable arms and like literally inflates them. That's what I think of with swole, where it's just
it's huge muscles.
On you people out there who like that look. I don't find it very appealing. But,
well, the thing is,
so no, I wouldn't say you have that.
The thing is, going after type 1 muscle fibers, you will become swole. It's the more bulbous, larger, thicker, but also weaker. It's a oxymoron. They're weaker. They have better oxidizing power. You have more endurance, but they are weaker in strength. Let me ask you a big question. Am I stronger than what I look like?
I don't know how to answer that.
Well, let me ask you this. You've commented multiple times. You're like, wow, I didn't know that somebody your size could do pull-ups. I didn't know. And I have surprised you with strength feats, and they're nothing to me.
Absolutely.
I put 120 pounds one-handed over my head, and I'm just like, yeah. Yeah.
Even today, I had it was like a 70-pound, not barbell. What do you call those?
80 pound. And they're called.
Is it 80 pounds?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called an easy bar. The letter E.
Easy bar.
The letter Z.
Mm-hmm.
Easy bar.
And you told me to just kind of throw it to you. Because one end standing on the ground, you were there, but for the other viewers, one end standing on the ground, I'm holding it up, and you were just like, drop it. And I was like, no, I have to like gently bequeath it to you. And you went, no,
bequeath it.
And I dropped. Yeah, I would drop it or kind of toss it a little bit, and you would just catch it. Damn, like that was an 80-pound thing, and you're just nope.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, strength muscles are condensed. They're smaller. I look like a relatively strong guy already, and I'm stronger than what I look like because I do a lot of heavy lifting. Now, I like the fact that we're switching. I like to work out with my client's pace. So I'm going to also be switching to the 4x20 modality. And we're both going to have major changes go on in our bodies. I'm going to gain more muscle, and I'm going to do it for the photo shoots that I'm planned for my gym and for my personal training ads. For you, it's going to be to get towards your goal of, can I say it? It has to do with the calendar.
Go for it.
Okay, your goal of being on a calendar, like a fireman calendar. So that is where we're pivoting. We're pivoting from strength to aesthetic bodybuilding. Does that make sense? And the way you do that is the best way to do it is not to initially start in bodybuilding. The best way to do it is to start in strength and then switch over to bodybuilding. Because if you start in strength, then you have a great basis to build off of. You have aligned yourself. You learn the fundamentals of how to do all the very technical things, and then bodybuilding, it helps you build off of that in such a way that is not possible without building that strength first. So you're in a very good position right now, and I'm highly looking forward to the future 3 months because you'll see an evident, like a very stark change in just 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited because I know how the body works, and I know how fast this is going to change. And I'm looking forward because every time you get surprised when it comes to like the magic and wizardry of fitness, that when it's like if it's like a algebraic sequence like A plus B equals C, and you're just like, how did you get there? I'm like, well, this is exactly what we did. This is what you did, and this is the result. And I'm excited to see that, especially when you've reached the end of this 3 months and we're at the finish line. And so, yeah, that's what I'm excited for. What are your thoughts?
Cool. I am too. I'm going to backtrack to you before I had started working with you. I had never heard of the idea of different modalities or different muscle. How did you put it? There's like muscle A, muscle B, or
camps, modalities, bodybuilding, strength. It's just different ways to work out. That's really it.
Mm-hmm. So
but they're like they're structured. The different ways have structure to them.
But that's just it. I didn't know that existed. I didn't know what those would have been. But now that I have a better understanding of those, plus also it makes sense to me why they are effective and why it is necessary to modulate between them or to shift between them, because the way that I see it, the body is looking to enter into a state of equilibrium. So when you start doing something new, exercise, or you're doing cardio, or you're lifting, or whatever it is that you're doing physically, you probably are going to see some pretty quick results at first because your body goes, ooh, you've never required this of me, therefore I'm going to have to adjust to this. And eventually you do adjust, which is where you start to feel, or you start to experience these plateaus, because you've been doing it for long enough. The body no longer treats it as a novelty. The body says, okay, we've adjusted because we just expect that this is how things are going to go from now on, and we've stabilized. Which is why when you switch to a different modality, the idea is that you shock your body and say, I require you to work in a way that is different from how I have required you to work before. And your body goes, oh, gee whiz, we have to start hustling in order to accommodate this shift. Does that make sense? Well, I mean, of course it makes sense. You're the one who taught it to me. But that is, to me, kind of the most powerful aspect of changing modalities, and the part that I didn't know before, but that it makes so much sense now that I do know it.
Okay.
And why I'm also excited to switch modalities now, because it's like, okay, well, the body's going to have to, it sounds like puberty. Your body's going to go through some changes. Looking forward to it.
All right. Well, that is all the time we got, guys. I'm going to end this with another mention towards the free PDF that's on personaltrainerandcompany.com/PDF workouts. There's probably an underscore in there. I'll check. Actually, I'm gonna check right now. Hold on. Let me do that real quick. Or PT&C. We're gonna go on Duncan's screen right now. We're gonna see the website. This is the website. We're gonna make sure we're doing that. Yep. This is the website, and we have some New Year's free offers right here. We have the New Year's bundle right here. 3 PDF workout programs for $59.99. You go to the top. Here's the top. You can scroll down, and you can book an appointment, memberships and services, group training, the workout app, PDF workout plans right here. So it's personaltrainerandcompany.com/workouts. And the free workout will be at the top right here. I'm going to add it today. All right, guys. So I'm going to put it back to Duncan. There we go. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, put that notification bell on, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.